We'll be speaking about the Karen Carpenter. She was a singer and a drummer in a band with her elder brother, which was quite successful. And we will be talking especially here about her relationship karma. For example, according to her friend Karen Common, this marriage was a straw that broke the camel's back. And he says that this was absolutely the worst thing which could happen to her life. And what is very interesting from this karmic perspective is that the day of her demise, when she was 32 years, in that day she ought to fill the divorce papers. So we can see that in her chart, these combinations related to divorce and combination related to her demise were very much connected. And going straight to those bad combinations, we can see that her Venus, the planet which is responsible for relationship, is in the 8th house. We can see also that the 7th Lord, which is also the most important Lord when it comes to relationships, is also in the 8th house, right? So we have Venus in 8th house, so the Karaka is badly placed, and also the Lordship, 7th Lord, is also in the 8th house, so it is also badly placed. So when we are analyzing anything in the chart, we should always take into the consideration the Karaka and Lordship. So in this case, if we want to analyze the relationship, we should analyze the Venus always and the 7th Lord. And if they are badly placed, like in the 6th, 8th or 12th, then this can suggest some type of challenges, obstacles or problems in the relationship, and then we need to analyze the things further. Is it problem with getting married, or this is problem after marriage? And in which relationship will have those challenges? We can see the Upapada, the houses in the Navamsha, and what exact problem we could suspect based on the yogas and also Karaka influencing these points of sustenance of marriage. As we know, in the astrology we have everything divided into the soul, mind and body. Just like Bhagavad Gita is giving us those 3 type of levels. We have the Stula Sharira, which is our, as they say, vulgar body. We have Linga Sharira, which is our subtle body. This is the Ahamkara, false ego, manas, mind, and the intelligence, which is called Buddhi. And then we have, of course, the soul, but the soul is just white, right? So to understand the colors or the karma which is attached to the soul, we are more interested, which is something we can call spirit. This is something between a mind and the soul, and this is related to the level of Charakaraka. So if we talk about relationships, then Charakaraka related to relationship is Darakaraka. And how to find this planet or point in the chart? This is just the planet with the lowest degree. So we have planet with the highest degree. This is showing our Atmakaraka. This is the lessons we have to do in our life related to our soul. So this is us on the deepest level. But we have also a Darakaraka, and this Darakaraka shows also mothers on the soul level. But according to the ancient Vedic texts, this is related now to the wealth and relationship. So we have this Darakaraka related to relationship in the 8th house again. Then we can see the Titi, because the Titi is also showing relationship, but now on the level of the Panchanga, which are the 5 qualities of time. And there we have this Titi Venus again, and in the 8th house. And the last point would be the Upapada. Upapada is relationship on the level of manifested, how the things are manifesting in our life. So if we want to see such tangible things like, for example, how many siblings the partner may have, how he will look like, what will be his work, family, how is his income, and things like that, then we should be analyzing the Upapada, because this level can give us, can reveal this information related to this very concrete and very detailed and tangible, measurable things, right? For these things we have this Aruda level, and for relationship this is Upapada. And Upapada here is in Virgo. This is very interesting because in Virgo we have Mars and Ketu. So these 2 planets are showing properties. This is very interesting because she had many relationships also with quite popular people in her career life of a singer-drummer, but the one with whom she married was the real estate agent. So this is interesting how ultimately the karma has to catch up, and marriage with such people with such profiles are always indicated by Mars and Ketu, and this Mars and Ketu are not only in the Upapada in the Rashi, which is showing the relationships, but it's also related to the 7th house in the Navamsha. So, but this is when we move the ascendant to the Scorpio, right? So now someone can say, should we move it to Scorpio? Is it something just to justify these things, or this is really something where we don't have any other options? If you want to see how to rectify the Navamsha, just see this video here. But there are a few points which are explaining why the Scorpio Lagna and not Sagittarius is the right one. For example, we know that she was very able musician. She instead of going to the gym lessons, she was preferring the drum session, and she convinced her family to buy her this drum, which was for today's currency was like around $2,000. So it was quite expensive investment at that time, and she was in love with that drumming, right? We can also see that Mars and Ketu in 4th house, so probably something repetitive and something related to music, like drumming, could also release some of her tension, which is shown by that Mars Ketu, this Pisacha Yoga in the 4th house. So that could be some kind of self-medication or subconscious solution to her probably some mental challenges she, as we know later, developed, right? And what is very important here, health. So we know that her demise was in Venus, Antardasha, Venus loading 12th lord, right? So for Sagittarius it doesn't make sense, for Scorpio it makes totally sense. And finally the time of marriage, right? The Mahadasha has to be related to ascendant. The Antardasha, the sub-period, need to be connected to the 7th house, and she married in Rahu Ketu. Rahu would be in the ascendant for Scorpio, and Ketu would be in the 7th house for the Scorpio ascendant. So again, this is working perfectly. And yeah, so her abilities, Sun in 5th house, music ability, especially when you talk about drums, and Sun is in the 10th lord, so this is not only her ability, but this is really related to her income, right? So we have abilities, we have income, and all that connected in the Navamsha. We have marriage, we have time of demise, everything is fitting nicely. We also know that she was addicted to the sedatives, and Aruda Lagna is with the Saturn, 6th lord from Aruda Lagna, which shows addictions, weaknesses, is loaded by Saturn, and Saturn also is influencing the moon by the Papa Drishti being in the 2nd house from the moon. We also see that this moon is 2nd lord, which shows eating, right? Because she had eating disorder, and the moon is in own sign. So again, we take the principle of Uchanata, right? When the moon is in own sign, we need to take Venus. Venus would be then in the 8th house. Again, we have connection to the Saturnian house of deprivation. So there is like no food, no eating. And in the Navamsha, this moon would be in the Aquarius. So Aquarius is loss also, right? And Venus, the Uchanata, would be in Marana Karakastana in 6th house in the Navamsha. So this also would have connection to the scarce amount of food, right? But for anorexia, we need to have some Brahma-related yoga, so Mercury and Venus, afflicted and related to Lagnasha. This is perfectly here. Ascendant Lord Mercury is with the Venus and afflicted in the 8th house with the Badaka in Capricorn, right? According to the Jaimini text, we know that when Badaka or Badakesha is related to Capricorn, it is giving two things which both are very much present here. The first one is related to her mental issues, as the texts say, two things, right? Stomach problems and mental issues. So in both cases, we can see this was present here for Karen Carpenter. And we know that she was working with her elder brother, and 11th, which is showing her elder brother, is Gemini. and this is that Mercury in the 8th. 8 may also shows either something inheritance, coming from family, something which is, we know that this is aspected by the moon, so this is definitely some influence of the moon karaka, so the family definitely is there. Saturn is also confirming the possibility of inheritance, and this is second from Aruda Lagna. So what is supporting you, what is sustaining you is the same Mercury. So 2nd and 11 are connected. The elder brother is there connected to that yoga in the 8th house. Of course, this has to be confirmed by the Dashamsa. We have Jupiter having Graha Drishti on the 7th house, showing that she is having her elder brother as her partner, business partner, right? Or working together with her elder brother. Okay guys, if you like this video so far, please don't forget to click the thumbs up, also subscribe with the bell notification on if you'd like to get notification about similar videos appearing on this channel. And we will have a lot of examples, and we will also have a lot of teachings of the parampara here given on this channel, so you don't want to miss this if you are into Vedic astrology. And also I want to remind you that we have this Vedic astrology course which is starting on 22nd April. So if you always wanted to learn Vedic astrology in that traditional way, as you know, this channel is belonging to Sri Achyutananda Parampara. So we have this traditional parampara, traditional school, how to analyze and interpret the Vedic chart. So if you would like to enroll, then just write me an email. We have only 12 spots available, so if you are considering this, then you may not want to miss this opportunity. But the main thing for this video is if the 7th Lord, Venus, Darakaraka, Titesha, Upapada, right? This is very rare situation where all these points are not living us any relief. They are not giving us any space to work, right? So we could use something, we could get other resources, we could jump to other part of the chart, and we could advise what to do. But should the person marry with such combination? This is the very important questions. Of course, for this type of question, for example, there are some people who are considering being monks, right? Being a celibate, Naishtika Brahmachari or just Brahmachari. They want to live in celibacy and dedicate their life to the spiritual means. So therefore, the texts, Vedic texts, are also having the information how to see if the person should get married and what would be the karma. So therefore, we are analyzing those things. So definitely important factor would be the position of the Aruda Lagna and the Venus. If the Venus is in 3rd, 6th or 12th from the Aruda Lagna, then this can mean that you don't need marriage to feel complete, right? Because your perception, the Aruda, is not containing that Venus karma for yourself. But we also know that Venus in 8 is a sannyasa yoga, right? So Venus, 7 Lord, everything is in 8, the Darakaraka is there, Upapada Lord is there, and this is also Saturnian sign. We also say that if the Upapada is related to Saturn, may also support no marriage yoga. And this was reflected very much in her life. Like her friend said, that it was absolutely the most horrible thing in her life. Of course, we have this Upapada with the Mars and Ketu. We have the Pisacha, right? So her marriage was like a Pisacha. Pisacha is the yoga for being haunted. There could be some aggression. There could be some problems. Her Navamsha doesn't show aggression because this Mars Ketu has to be in specific points. She doesn't have that in the chart, but nevertheless, this we have a marriage related to 2 malefics, right, on the Upapada and in the Navamsha, and all the karma are related to the 8th house. So now I feel I'm rambling. I don't want to repeat myself. What we could do, definitely remedies, right? So remedies for this 8th house. Yogas, the 7th Lord in the 8th, Venus in the 8th. We could somehow give remedies for this negative combination. The other thing what we could do is to think about timing, because the muhurta can also change a lot. So giving a proper timing for marriage. Also maybe about the partner, we should consider which Upapada to activate and what partners also to attract, what partners to choose, so we can avoid any bad karmas which could be present based on her chart. So using the chart, we could use that 33% of free will and somehow try to manipulate and choose that good factors or good side of this chart. Okay guys, so that's gonna be it from me. I hope you find this interesting and informative. Thanks for watching till the end and being here with me on this channel. Don't forget to click the thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to get similar videos in the future, and see you in the next one.